The story of Media Design School is absolutely fascinating. The strength of Media Design School is its people.
How could we not be proud about how award-winning MDS is, the achievements of its students, and how it stands out?
We should not be complacent, but we should understand who we are and what we have, and we should then, in context, say what are the development opportunities.
One of the things that we think should happen is that MDS should be part of a university.
If we look at Australia and the kind of impact we've had in Australia, and with an offering like Media Design School, the impact we've had in New Zealand, there's a big scope for us to have a larger impact by having a university here. We have a potential to really change lives for a lot of people that are honestly not being served by traditional universities.
It adds value to our graduates.
We're talking about one thing that in fact sums everything, and it's three Maori words. It's e tangata, e tangata, e tangata. So what's important? The people, the people, the people.
Kia ora tātou I te whānau, kei te mihi atu ahau ki a koutou.
It is to completely integrate Maori Pacifica culture in teaching and learning and in the academic governance environment. So I think as all the academic staff sitting here working with me, that's what I really would like to see coming through right from the classroom into the L&T, into the academic board, so that we have an embedded culture and that it just becomes the norm.
I'm really excited about what the potential is around that. If we can apply that to our Māori Pacifica students, we can also look at how we can apply that across the board to all our students at MDS.
And across the board, a digital porphyry creation. Okay, so something you saw this morning is digitised and accessible wider than ourselves. And so we can also use that in relation to whatever projects we have. Similar for virtual marae, we're talking about physical spatial considerations right now, but we know what can be virtual in relation to a marae and why we would have it. It's because you don't have to travel for the experience.
We need to start thinking really deeply around how we're going to work within the space. And our brainstorming session is, what does that look like for us and how we're actually going to activate that within the new campus.
You want to get out into every place in that vineyard and use every corner of that vineyard so that the students are sitting beside industry all the time.
I'm going to be honest, in the first year it's like any iteration of a new car. It's not always going to be perfect in the first iteration or the first attempt that we...
It's going to be interesting and exciting.
But it's going to be interesting and exciting and colourful and joyful all at the same time.
5,000 or plus.
5,000?
Why
Yes.
not? I mean, because we have online systems.
There are ways that we could teach UX in a different way.
When we refer to technology, are we only referring to information technology? Why don't we talk about technology wider?
For me, I think it's also maybe having a bigger number of higher, kind of more senior academics with research profiles that cross industry and academia.
Yes, we want to teach those things, but do we have a UX team that manages the user experience of the students?
Really, if we're about employability skills and making sure that our graduates are employable, MDS has such a critical part to play in that, because all the augmented reality skills, the micro-credentials, being able to do short, sharp courses, creative industries, design, the portfolio that's natural to MDS now should really be an employability skill for all of our students.
When we manage to enrol a kid into a bachelor's degree program, how do we educate their parents and their community about AI, cloud computing? Do we also offer a free, did reach out to our business colleagues.
We need to go out to New Zealand, go on the roadshow, hopefully take our lecturers out, go into communities that we are not able to reach.
If you like, the rest of the world and the rest of industry have caught up. Everybody now needs design thinking. Everybody needs to understand artificial intelligence. That's impacting on every area of business. Software engineering skills, creative thinking skills. It's a UX. It's a long list, right? So, and they're not just niche jobs in a niche sector anymore. Everybody needs those.
I think our courses are easily as good as, but in fact better than university courses.
First of all, we'd be probably one of the first universities in New Zealand to be doing this. New Zealand All Blacks are using analytics in order to boost their performance as well. So we're going to be having much better performance than all the other universities.
We are, as higher education institutions, part of society that is co-responsible for the development of the human well-being, of the human condition.
We have a real challenge in New Zealand around youth unemployment. We have a real challenge in New Zealand around Maori and Pacifica. We have a real challenge globally around creative technologies, and industry has a real challenge around the skills it needs for the future.
We have an obligation to our stakeholders in industry, and we have an obligation to New Zealand as a community and as a country.
I almost feel it's a responsibility that we actually impact more students in New Zealand and globally. So this is all going to happen. There's nothing in there that we can't do and can't focus on and can't get right. Okay, we do it together.